Hello ladies, welcome to your 9:30 Zoom with Fit Club for Women. It's a very exciting day today because we are open upstairs, but we're here to provide you with your home workout for anybody who's not ready to join inside just yet. So let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. Dave, if you could. Start with a little side-to-side tap.
The next workout will begin in 60 seconds.
60 whole extra seconds. Good. We're going to add a little reach across the body, keeping that core nice and tight. And taking these first 60 seconds to take a physical inventory. How do you feel today? What feels good? What feels tight? One thing I like to do is think about the way my feet are moving on the floor. Where do I carry my weight? Is it from the outside or the inside of the foot? Do I stay toward the ball of the foot or the heel? Good, belly button hold into the spine to support this tiny little rotation we've got. We're gonna add that arm into an overhead reach right here. Hold on. And now we're gonna take the secondary movement to think about where our brain is at. Think about, are you feeling happy today, relaxed?
Set one.
Everything's going the way you want it to? Feeling agitated, frustrated, stressed? Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Take this moment to realize that you are here for yourself. You made it, you're awesome. Putting on those shoes is the hardest thing. Good, for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and bring one toe out, the opposite hand up, and we're going to cross, tap the knee, and extend.
Exercise.
Now you notice I have my hand on my core. You don't have to have it here. If you want it out here for balance or maybe on your hip, that is okay too. But we're working balance and a core rotation. Beautiful.
Begin set 2.
3, 2, let's do alternating. So we have 1, 2, moving a little bit faster into our high knee. Good. Hands up behind the ears. We're going to add a cross. It's almost like you're doing a bicycle crunch if you're doing a bicycle crunch standing up. It's basically what this is. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the other leg out. Other hand up. Hand on the hip or the abdomen. Cross and tap.
Stop. Exercise.
Beautiful. Next little squeeze right here, feeling that rotation around. In 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the feet all the way together, and I'm going to turn on an angle so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Booty back.
Begin
Those heels. Bring a slight bend in the knee. You're going to tap the right foot back and in, back and in. You notice I had to tap my little foot down to maintain my balance. Good. And right here, we're going to go ahead and pick up the pace. We bring it back, back, back. Good. This knee stays soft. It's not a straight knee like this. Good. Core is in. Chest is open, and we should start to feel some burn in that supporting leg.
Stop. Exercise.
Good. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Chair pose, hips back, weight in those heels, other tap, back and in, back and in. And you notice I'm doing a little bit of a runner thing with my arms.
Begin set 4.
I like to call these speed skaters. Actually, that I didn't come up with that name. I shouldn't take credit for that. Someone else likes to call these speed skaters. And picking up that pace, soft bend in that knee, weight in that heel. And we should just feel all burning in those quads. Because we're going to work the quads again. So it's nice to wake them up first thing. Good. And we got
Stop. Exercise.
3,
and switch to the next
2,
station.
1. Beautiful. I'm going to have you come to the back of the chair, or basically anything that's going to help you maintain your balance. Wall is fine. I'm going to use the pole. So we're going to attain that chair pose once again. Hips back.
Begin
and
set
step.
1.
Weight in those heels. And the first thing we're gonna do just to activate is pulse. Now, I'm gonna stand a little bit closer. I like a soft elbow. It helps me keep my chest open. And when you have something to hang on to, that helps you open up your chest and straighten out your spine. If you just have a wall, it's okay for your chest to be a little bit farther forward as long as your weight is still in your heels.
Stop, exercise.
Beautiful. And come on up, take a quick break. Do a little shake out of your hips. Now I'm gonna turn sideways here. Now let's see, there we go. So one hand on your wall or the back of your chair. The inside leg, meaning the leg closest to your balance hand, is going to come straight forward. You're going to send your booty back and down and then up. Back and down and then up. Now for a lot of people doing a big high elevation like this, actually they lack strength or they maybe have some hip flexor sensitivity, you're more than welcome to rest your heel on the floor. We're essentially doing a one-legged squat, also known as a pistol squat. Good, and I'm gonna keep doing it here just so you can see me demonstrate it, but I would like you to stay wherever you have some balance support.
Stop, exercise.
Good, and we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. Now, if you have a knee problem in either knee, I want you to go back to this guy, okay? Beautiful, knee forward, nice and tall, belly button in.
Begin set
Back
3.
down, set 3. Gorgeous. Make sure you're doing the other side. I'm going to set my heel down lightly on the floor just to remind you of the modification here. It's like you're trying to sit one-legged into a chair that's right behind you. You can't see it, so you have to feel for that chair with your butt. Now, it may be that you can't get very low. If you can only get down a couple of inches,
Stop, exercise.
that is just fine. Beautiful. For set 4, no matter who you are, we're going to bring those feet all the way together one more time. Hips back and down into your chair pose. And this time, everybody can try this. We're going to pick one heel
Begin
up,
set 4.
hover that foot, set it slowly back down, and then switch to the other side. So we're marching a chair pose now. We're going to see some marching today. Beautiful. Up and down. Gorgeous. Now this is set 4. At the end of set 4, get ready. You're going to use a chair or a bench, something elevated, to do your planks. And I'm going to have everybody do elevated.
Stop, exercise, and switch to the next station.
Because we're going to be working on a mountain climber. Now, oftentimes, a mountain climber on the floor on your elbows doesn't quite work. It doesn't have enough clearance, but we can fix that problem if we do it right here. Now, you may be asking me, Nicole, why don't we just do a plank on our hands and do a mountain climber on the
Begin
floor?
set 1.
You can, if you want, but I like this because this is good for people with wrist issues. Set 1 has begun. Elbows on your bench or your chair. Make sure that that tailbone is tucked, the back stays nice and flat. And you're just pulling one knee in at a time. Belly button tightly to the spine. Now it's really common for people to stick their butt up and do this. Want to make sure
exercise.
that we keep the hips right in line. That's actually going to be the thing that activates the core. On the flip side of that though, we definitely don't want the hips to sag. So we're not looking for this, by no means. Good.
Begin set 2.
Set 2, here we go. Elbows down. Make sure your shoulders are stacked up right on top of your elbows. And mountain climb. 1, 2. 1, 2. Beautiful. Moving nice and slow. Feeling the work through the shoulders and chest. I'm feeling this. I already did my planks today. Good.
Stop, exercise.
Gorgeous. That's set 2. For sets 3 and 4, we're going to change things up just a little bit. Forward. So instead of in and in, we're going to give your hip flexors a little bit of a break. We're going to do heel lifts. Now, if your lower back is sensitive today, be very careful with these. The heel is going to come up. Hold it for a second, and then drop it back down. Up. Good. Now you'll notice I am not lifting really high. It's just an inch. What that's going to do is ensure that the lower back is not doing the lifting. Now for some people, having all the pressure on one knee like that is not ideal. If that's you, go ahead, remove the heel lifts. You're just going to give me a regular plank. For people who are doing good, we're going to do set 4, exactly the same thing. Ooh, shoulders burning.
Begin set 4.
Also, this bench is getting really sweaty. Stop procrastinating. Nicole will get to it. Heel up and down. See, the trainers are guilty of it too. Belly button in. Really tucking that tailbone underneath your body, and every time you set your foot back down, I want you to squeeze your butt again. It can be hard to maintain a glute squeeze when all of your weight is on one foot.
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
Is why we remind ourselves. Very good. Now, we're going to come on down to the floor. If you have a pillow nearby, I'd like you to grab it, but if you don't, no big deal. This is going to be our pillow.
Begin set 1.
Between the knees. You're going to pick those hips up, belly button in, and you're just going to pulse your knees against your pillow. If you don't have a pillow, you're going to just keep your thighs all the way together, like so. So feet, knees, everything nice and tight. You're just going to keep those knees close. Little pulses. Getting some inner thigh activation.
Stop exercise.
I would like you to take a break. Set 2, we're going to take it up a notch. I mentioned we have a lot of marching today. We had our marching chair sit, marching plank, and now we have a marching hip bridge. So we're going to pick those hips up. Begin to squeeze against that ball. You're going to extend one leg. Keep holding that squeeze, and then set that foot down. Squeeze your booty, maintain your height. Belly button in. Full extension, squeeze. 2, 3, and down. Now you'll notice my thighs aren't moving all that much. They're staying really parallel to each other. This is going to do a couple of things. It's going to ensure that you don't lose the ball. A lot of times when the thighs are moving around, you notice the ball moves a lot.
Stop exercise.
Take that break. The other thing it's going to do is when you have to keep the thighs parallel, that means that leg is a really long extension. That's more of a challenge for your hamstrings. If you don't have a pillow, you want to try this, but it feels a little intense.
Begin set 3.
You're welcome to pull the knee in. It's going to be a different kind of march. Won't be as challenging, but it'll be a little bit easier on the hammies, a little bit easier on the lower back. So this is our modification. If you don't like doing any one-legged bridges whatsoever, because it bothers your back, or any other issues, you are more than welcome to just give me pulses. Always listen to your body. Be nice to it. It's the only one you got. Beautiful.
Stop
Squeeze that booty. Good. Take a little break. Rocking the hips back and forth for me is a really nice way to give my lower back a little massage and just release some of the tension. Both physical and mental.
Begin set 4.
Squeeze the pillow or ball or nothing. Pick the hips up and extend. Good. So this is set 4. At the end of set 4, we're going to turn over onto our side. We're going to go into a clamshell. So we're hitting the glutes twice. But This one's hitting the inner thigh and glute. The next one's going to hit the outer thigh and outer glute. Beautiful. There's sometimes some method to the madness.
Stop exercise and switch to the next.
Good. Drop your hips carefully. Go ahead and get rid of your pillow for now. Ooh, my inner thigh is burning. Turning over onto your side. We're going to bend the knees at 90 degrees and then pull the knees forward. The hips should be right in line with your booty. So if you were to draw a line straight down, it would hit your tailbone and your knees. You're welcome to come down like so, and I'm going to stay up on my elbow. And we're going to open those knees and hold. Now with the clamshell, one of the things I see a lot is this. People kind of roll back onto their booty. You want to keep your hips stacked and then open your knees up as wide as you can. And then from here, you're going to pulse. Pulse and pulse. Working all that outer thigh, all that outer booty.
Stop exercise.
Good. Now, if you need to take a break, that's fine. Go ahead. If you don't need to take a break, though, you're going to keep going. Gorgeous.
Begin set 2.
Set 2, ladies. Good. Now, if you want this to be a little bit harder, you're just going to open, hold for an extra second before you drop, and then open again. So now we're spending, I can kind of see my hips are rolling back. So now we're spending more time in the open position than we were before. So we drop, open, hold, drop, open, hold. Ooh, it burns. It's good. I need to work my hips more. I don't know about you ladies, but I'm very aware of stuff that I need to do. There's the break. Yeah. Very aware of stuff that I need to do, and yet I don't always do it. It's fine. It's human nature. Hips stacked, knees forward slightly, heels lined up.
Begin set 3.
And open. Hold the open first. Make sure that you're not rolling back on your butt. This takes all the work out of it. And once you're satisfied that your form is correct, I'm going to assume that you guys are doing it correctly. Because from here, you all look really small. Pulse. Pardon me. Good. Nice, tight core. If you are up on your elbow, like me, make sure you're not dropping into that shoulder. You want a nice open shoulder and a nice long neck. Here's the break. Only if you need it. This is just body weight, so a lot of times this takes a long time to start to burn. At least for me it does. So if you're like me, you want to push yourself. Good, and let's add that pacing back in. This is set 4. So you drop, open, hold. Drop, open, hold. Good. Beautiful. Excellent. At the end of set 4, we're going to go into some upper body. Let's turn over onto our hands and knees at the end of this set. First thing you're going to do during the break, you're going to give me child's pose. Just a few seconds. Get a little mini stretch. Ooh, there it is.
The next station.
Carefully and mindfully. Hips back. Child's pose. And we're going to come to our a high plank next. So, high plank meaning hands
Begin set
or
1.
monkey paws. And come up onto your feet. Good. Now from here, you're going to send your booty back into a downward dog, and then you're going to come into a high plank. Keep it going. If your wrists don't like the high plank or the monkey paw high plank, you are actually welcome to do an elbow plank here. And you can still hike those hips and bring them down.
Stop exercise.
Good. Drop your knees first, send your hips back. Please, 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 for the love of everything, don't drop your hips down straight down to the floor for your break. Always knees down first. Good. So
Begin set 2.
I want you to think about the shoulders. You're doing your plank, your core is activated here. Then when you send your hips up high, the work begins to go into that medial deltoid. Your back is nice and broad. And then when you shift back into your plank, you tuck the tailbone once again. Pike, sending that tailbone up, those ears should be next to your shoulders, and drop. Now if your shoulders really don't like this movement, you can come on down, hold the knee.
Exercise.
Good, hips back and down. Gorgeous. Now I like this exercise, it's a shoulder stabilizer as well as a strengthener. We're gonna add a little bit of glute work to this. If your shoulders don't like the hiking movement, you're just gonna give me a donkey kick. But if you're doing this successfully, start your plank, hips up, downward dog, one leg up to the sky. Drop that foot, plank, hips up, foot to sky. Drop that foot, plank. So abs, shoulders, butt, then shoulders, abs, shoulders, butt.
Stop. Exercise.
Beautiful. Knees down first, hips back, child's pose. We have one more set of this. If you have done the modification of a donkey kick, you will simply switch over to the other side. And I'm actually going to show this to you on the elbows. So, plank, hips up, butt, down, plank, plank up, butt, down. See, I told you there's a lot of marching today. Gorgeous. And at the end of set 4, we're going to turn over onto our back one more time. We're going to give the upper body a little break.
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
We're going to go into some ab work. So, let's give your shoulders and upper body a complete rest. You're just going to pull the knees into your chest. Stretch out your lower back for me for just a moment.
Begin set 1.
Good. Set 1, hands either at your sides or behind your head. You're going to give me a full extension of the legs. You're just going to hold it for the moment because I want you to pay attention to your lower abdominals. Belly button is in, lower back is down. If you're not quite flexible enough for this, like say you're kind of out here, you feel your lower back working really hard, put one foot down for me. Otherwise, you're going to try to keep those legs up in the air. Your hip flexors are going to be working.
Exercise.
Take a break. Put one foot down at a time. Please do not flop both legs down at the same time. That can arch the lower back, cause all kinds of problems. Set 2, we're going to add a little flutter to this. Now, if you have only one leg up in the air, you're going to drop and raise. Simple. But if you have both up in the air, you're going to tap the heel to the toe, heel to the toe. 1, 2. 1, 2. Belly button is in, lower back is down, abs are working. Now, if you're strong in your abs and your lower back, you are very welcome to try a slight drop in those legs. The lower your legs are, the closer they are to the floor, the harder your lower abs have to work.
Stop exercise.
And take that break. We're going to do this one more time. If you're doing one leg down, you're going to go ahead and just switch over to the other side. You'll go up and down with the one leg. Now, one important note for people who are doing that, and everybody else will go back.
Begin set 3.
If you have one foot down on the floor, you're fluttering the other leg. One thing that's going to take away all of the work in the abs is if you drive really hard through the foot that's on the floor. You want to keep that foot real light, as if it's resting on a pane of glass. Good fun. I'm going to go into the full flutter. Again, your hip flexors are going to feel real tired at the end of this. Take a little break if you need to. Just pull one knee in. And don't worry,
stop for exercise.
Which is right here. We're going to change it up. Both feet on the floor. Give your thighs and your hip flexors a break. Hands behind the head, cupping the skull. We're going to keep the chin nice and wide, elbows nice and open, and we come up into a crunch and hold.
Begin set 4.
Eyes to the ceiling. And let's pulse it up, up, up. Teeny tiny little pulse, pulse, pulse. You're never dropping all the way down, you're staying high. We've only got one set of these upper abdominal crunches. You want to make it count. I like using your breath. Belly button is in. Make sure you're supporting your head, but not tugging on it. Again, chin is wide, elbows open.
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
Roll to your side, and then you're going to come back up to standing one more time. If you have a pillow, great, you're going to grab it. If you don't, that's okay. I will show you a modification. So, feet are directly underneath your hips. Your pillow is in your hands. Your elbows are out to the side. Pillow stays very close to the chest, not out here. You're going to come up onto your toes and hold. First things first. Nice, high releve, as they say in ballet. You're going to make sure that booty is tucked and squeezed. Belly button is in. I don't want to see any of that. No archies in the lower back. Stay nice and high. Balance and calf work. Nicole, why are you holding this pillow in this weird way? You'll find out right now. So for sets 2 onward, we're going to squeeze the pillow like so. Let's see if you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Come up a little bit closer. Squeeze, squeeze. Trying to keep those wrists as straight as possible. So if you find this happening, do your best to bring the hands together. Up onto the calves. You're going to pulse against the pillow. Now if you don't have a pillow, you can lace your fingers together and just give me a little bit of pressure. I don't want you to go too crazy because you're basically going to be pressing your hands against your hands. But the idea here is as we're working those calves and pulsing up and down, we're activating through the pecs and the front deltoids. Keep going, ladies.
Stop exercise.
Good. And take a little break. Roll those shoulders back for me. Now, I prefer to have my elbows out to the side. I find it adds like direct pressure here and I really start to feel it in the chest. However, if your shoulders are sensitive today, you can try keeping your elbows close and just pressing the hands flat against the pillow. For this to be effective, I want you to squeeze your elbows against the side of your waist like crazy. I know us ladies sometimes are conditioned to keep our elbows out nice so that we don't press our arms flat against our waist. Good, so it's either very wide with the elbows or very close with the elbows. Squeeze and pulse. Dropping the shoulders down again, core is tight, booty is tucked and engaged. Good, take a little break. Shake out those calves, it's a lot of work. Belly button in, get ready.
Begin set 4.
And this is set 4. This is the last set. Belly button in and squeeze, squeeze. Good. Beautiful. Now if you want to get a little bit more burn in the chest just for these last seconds, you're going to give me an isometric squeeze. You're going to squeeze hard and then just hold it. Give me little pulses in those calves. Chest is on fire. Booty's on fire, weirdly. Calves are definitely burning. Shoulders are back and down, neck is nice and long. String is pulling up your head to the ceiling.
Your
training is now complete. Beautiful, ladies. Let's go ahead and put your pillow or your squishy ball to the side. Find a wall or the back of your chair for some balance work. We're going to stretch out the calves very briefly. Sending one foot way back. You're going to soften that front knee and send your weight into that calf. Straightening out that back leg and trying to drop the calf to the floor. Thanks, Dave. Beautiful. Big breath in And on the exhale, you're going to shift your weight into your front foot, releasing the stretch before you bend that back knee. Now you're going to straighten out that front leg and hinge the body forward. Now we've got the hamstring here. The back leg can stay soft. If you want to deepen the stretch a little bit more, you feel fairly comfortable with your balance, you're going to pick up that front toe. Woo! Beautiful. Nice and straight in that front knee. Big breath in. Drop that toe, soften that knee, and we're going to go ahead and switch. Standing fairly close to the wall, big step back, soft front leg, and straighten out that back leg. Drive all your weight into that back heel. Wow. Should feel real nice in that calf. Both toes should be pointed in the same direction. If you find that you've got sort of an outward turn of that back toe, it's going to be an incomplete stretch. Big breath in, and shift your weight into the front foot just a little bit to release the pressure. Soften the back knee, send that booty back, and straighten out the front leg. Drop your chest. For a more complete stretch, go ahead and pick up that front toe. If you're feeling extra sassy, give me a little grab. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. And exhale, drop the toe down to the floor, soften the knee. You are all done. Great work, great work, great work. My goodness, let's see who's here. What's up, Lily? Oh my God, Lynn, hi.